Hi, this is Nick Holmes from Paradise Lost, and you're listening to Metal on Loud.
Hello.
Hi, how you doing? Hi.
Good. How are you?
Not bad. Sorry, I just literally put the call down on the last one. It just literally finished. Right. Okay. No worries. Yep. All good.
Well, thanks for being on the podcast. How are things in your world?
Okay. All right. Just doing some interviews today, so it's keeping me busy. Yeah.
Yeah. You've got an excellent new live album coming out. I believe it's a Blu-ray DVD.
Yeah. Yeah. It is. Although I don't have a copy of that myself, but yeah, I believe it is. Yeah.
You haven't heard it yet.
No, I've heard it. I just don't have the Blu-ray copy, but I will ask for one.
I've been spinning the disc for almost a week now, and it's very nice to hear you play live again. I have to say.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we just wanted it to sound more like a live, raw album. We didn't want it to sound like a studio album in any way. It was good to just make it sound like a very good bootleg kind of thing. That's what the sort of thing we had in mind.
Well, you succeeded with that. It
Cool. Cool.
must have been strange to play at the middle without any audience.
I mean, we the mill where we did it. I mean, we've rehearsed there as a band. That's been our rehearsal studio for like 20 years, or maybe longer than 20 years. So it was pretty much like a rehearsal, but just with cameras there, I suppose. It was a little bit more stressful than an average rehearsal,
Mhm.
but yeah, it was okay. It was good to be able to kind of meet up with the guys and do something after we hadn't seen each other for quite a while, and we had obviously big touring schedules planned, which got blown out of the water. So yeah, it was nice to meet up and do that.
I remember thinking when we were like halfway this pandemic, like this must be an excellent time for Paradise Lost to write an album.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, the year's gone incredibly fast, but I mean, when you're at home, you're really not. Every day is pretty much the same. So yeah, it seems like it's gone very fast. But I'm ready to kind of get back out there now. It's gone on a bit too long now. I think everyone's getting a bit sick of it.
Yeah, I absolutely get that. I think most people agree with you there.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the rules that keep changing, and it's just getting, 1 minute it's okay, the next minute it's not okay. 1 minute you can go here, then you can't go here. Oh my God,
Mhm.
it's getting, yeah, it's not a great situation to be in at the moment. But I mean, hopefully towards the end of the year and next year we can, I think it's important to try and stay positive.
Mhm. Do you have any things in the work when it comes to new material, new album?
No, no, yeah, I mean we don't feel like we've finished with this album because we haven't played live with it yet. So
Mhm.
we've been working on other things this year. But yeah, as far as new Paradise Lost material, I mean, until we've done at least a tour of some description, I don't feel like we wouldn't feel right to start writing again until we've done some shows. It's been such the way we've worked since we started. So yeah, we need to do at least one tour, I think, before we think about a new album.
Well, that is usually how the. Hold on, one moment. Somebody is calling me.
No worries.
That is usually how your cycle goes. You write an album, you do a tour afterwards.
Sorry, could you repeat that question? Hi. Sorry, yeah, could you repeat that? I didn't hear the question.
Are you still there? Hello?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sorry, I didn't hear you then. If you could just repeat the question. Hi, hello. Can you
Yeah,
hear me?
I'm back. I'm back. Somebody was calling me on my mobile phone, and then my hearing aids switches audio.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's all right. No, no worries, no worries.
So I was saying that's usually how your cycle goes. You bring out an album and then you do a tour. So that
Yeah,
must seem a
yeah,
little strange.
yeah, exactly. I mean, it's been like that for most of the band's existence, really. And then, I mean, if you play in America or you tour America, then it expands the length of time between songs, between albums.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, it's usually 2 or 3 years in between, 2 or 3 years touring cycle. Yeah, so we haven't even started that yet.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but it's, I do think, you know, everyone's got the finger on the pause button. Every band's paused and just went to go again. And I think everyone's the same all over the world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get that. You released Obsidian in 2020, so you've had a long time to look at the album. How do you feel about the album yourself?
I think it's great. I love it. Yeah, really happy with it. Yeah. We usually, by the time we get to record an album, we know exactly what we want it to sound like. We know what we want from it. We know what we want from the songs. So
Mm-hmm.
by the time it's recorded, we pretty much we've sat on it long enough to know what we want. And bearing that in mind, we very rarely regret anything we've done
Mm-hmm.
recording wise. And each album represents where you are. It's all a chapter in the life of the band, I guess. And yeah, I think it sounds great. I play it occasionally now, and I love the production. I think it sounds really heavy. So yeah, very
Mm-hmm.
happy with it.
When I listen to the new live album, it's really nice to see that there's such a diversity in your catalog.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's one of the things. I mean, it's nice to be able to, you know, play a song like Beneath Broken Earth and then play So Much Is Lost, which is,
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of years between those songs, and there's a massive difference in the style. But yeah, I mean, I think the songwriting ties them all together. I think we hopefully have our own sound, and that threads between each song, regardless of how far apart they were written, or the type of song the way the song sounded at the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I actually learned of you guys during the Icon tour, the Icon album, and it
Ah, okay.
instantly blew me away. It was,
Ah, cool. Yeah,
yeah. I
yeah, yeah.
really like it that you return to that sound a bit. It's more heavier than the last three albums.
Yeah. I mean, we had a period where we sort of wandered down different paths and sort of experimented within our own field, I guess, and then when with a gruff voice when it came back, it kind of had more impact. I think really, I mean, it sounds different now than it did when I was younger, but I mean, your voice changes. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's. I always like the gruff voice, but I always like to hear the words when I heard gruff singing. So it doesn't matter how gruff it is. I like to hear the words. So that's also important as well with a band.
Hmm. Well, words are important, especially if they have a weight to them.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, of course. I mean, you listen to certain, if you read poetry or lyrics, they can take you to some place.
Hmm.
And that's the whole thing. It's all about escapism.
Yeah, I'm a poet myself, so I fully understand that.
Yeah, cool.
um, Back in 2019, during the Medusa album, I spoke to Gregor, and he says, "We are actually not miserable people. We just like miserable music."
Yeah, that's pretty much sums it up. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's that's
If you
that's 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 pretty much a life rule really for us. We've
Mhm. If you are in a writing mode, do you have to flick a switch to write your lyrics?
I don't like I like to write lyrics when I'm in a very happy. Actually, I like to be happy when I've always found feeling depressed. No, it's a very negative energy for me. I don't get anything from feeling depressed. I don't like it. I don't feel
Mhm.
artistic. I don't feel anything when I'm depressed. I hear about many people who are at their most creative when they're down, and I just don't get anything from being down. It's a bad time, and it's not a place I like to be.
Mhm.
So yeah, so the happier I feel, the more creative I feel. So I think that's how it works with me.
Mhm. I can identify with that.
Yeah, I've never really understood people that are depressed and writing. I just don't. The two don't go together for me, you know. But anyway, each to their own, I suppose.
I think if you are depressed and you have your heartache or whatever breaks your soul, it's the best time to write about it when you're happy after.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can reflect on it when you're in a good mood, and you won't feel too bad about it. But when you're kind of wallowing in the misery, it's not like, you know, I don't find it particularly inspiring, you know.
It's like shopping when you're hungry. It doesn't bring
Yeah,
you nice stuff home.
yeah, that's a good example. Yeah.
So, what do you do to get into that writing mood? What makes you happy?
You these days it's just a good night's sleep, you know. That's it.
the,
That's enough for now.
the little
Uh,
things that come with
Yeah,
age.
which is rare, you know. If I get a good night's sleep, it's like a bonus, you know. I love it when I get a good night's sleep, but it doesn't happen often. So yeah, good night's sleep. I mean, I like to exercise. I love exercising. I've really got into exercising in the last sort of 10 years.
Mhm.
I love running. I love cycling. That makes me feel good. I really get a really good buzz out of, particularly afterwards. You know, I love the feeling after you've exercised. It's a really nice, positive feeling. So yeah, I try and do that as much as I can, and that puts me in a good, you know, a good injection of serotonin. You know.
Mhm. Yeah, I get that. Looking
Yeah.
at the year ahead, you already have a bunch of live shows planned, some festivals. Um, looking forward to getting on the road again.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like I said right at the beginning. It's just been too long now. It's just gone on, and you know, and I mean, and obviously it is what it is. You just got to
Mhm.
deal with it. But yeah, it's going to be nice again. It's going to be nice to. I think the UK is in a situation where the vaccine rollout's been massive. You know, I mean, I think by the time September towards the end of the year, I do think that everything's going to be pretty much like a normal situation here. You know, I
Mhm.
mean, touch wood. I'm being trying to be positive. Obviously, things keep
Yeah,
changing all the time, but yeah, and obviously we're looking out, looking forward to getting out and doing it again. You know, absolutely.
yeah. Here's hoping there's not another wave coming with whatever comes after Delta.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think the uncertainty is as bad as anything else because it just keeps changing all the time. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, you can't plan anything. You can't plan a vacation. It just keeps. I think that's as much of a drag as anything.
Mhm.
It's just the uncertainty of it all.
Yeah. When it comes to the album Obsidian, which of those songs are you looking forward to play live most?
I mean, the first song, obviously, but I think all of it really. I mean, we always write albums now thinking about playing it live. We don't. We've done albums where we think, well, okay, we'll try. This is a studio song. There's no way we can really take this on the road. But I mean, with these songs,
Mhm.
they're very much guitar and vocal driven. They're very much written around guitars and vocals. And so, I mean, we can play it all really. But I mean, Darker Thoughts, all. I mean, I'm just looking at the track list now. Yeah, all of it.
Mhm.
It's going to be great.
I haven't heard you play live since I think it was Metal Camp. That's a long time ago. But what struck me is that how a newer song like No Hope in Sight sounds awesome live.
It's really nice that you can play newer songs and they go down as well as old songs. That's
Mhm.
a real great thing that you can. I mean, a lot of the time with many bands that are as old as we are, sometimes it's your kind of old songs that people want to hear.
Mhm.
Uh, People shouting, "Play some old shit," stuff like that, which is always
Yeah.
quite funny. But but we don't get that we don't get that too much. But yeah, it's really nice to yeah, new
Yeah.
songs go down as well as old songs, definitely. Yeah.
That's one of the things that I asked Gregor in 2019 when I was at Metal Camp.
Yeah.
You guys performed As I Die, but in the intro, you said, "I'm so fucking sick of this song, I'm not going to sing it," and you didn't. Do you remember that?
No, but I usually have some kind of smart ass comment about that song.
Yeah.
It's weird. I have no feelings about it. I'm indifferent with it. It's just it is there. I don't think it's a bad song at all. But
Yeah.
we've done it so much now that I'm kind of immune to it. I just do it. You know.
Yeah.
Sometimes I growl it. Sometimes I sing it cleaner. Sometimes
Mhm.
it is what it is.
I can imagine that if you've been at it for that many years, that at some point it just snaps.
Yeah, you kind of go in waves. You go, you love it, then you hate it, then you love it, then you hate it, and then you just don't care after a while. It's
I
kind of
think
got
that's
to
a
that stage.
yeah, that's a great description of life, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah.
um, do you have anything you wish to say to our listeners, our viewers?
Just we look forward to getting out there. Everyone looks forward to getting out there. Yeah, fingers crossed towards the end of the year, things look a little bit brighter for everyone. I think every country's at a different stage of all this, and I'm very much aware of that. But so yeah, I mean, hopefully we can get out there and everyone can get back to some semblance of some normality. And I think raise a drink to that, I guess. So fingers
This,
crossed we're all back to normal.
a semblance of normality. That's almost an album title.
All right. Okay.
Thank you very much for talking to us, and I'm looking forward to actually seeing you on the roads and hearing this stuff live.
Yeah, so am I. Yeah, great. Thanks, man. Look forward to it. Yeah.